Hi, I'm Samantha,
And I'm Haley.
and for this project we looked at the Haitian Creole language. In this presentation, we will discuss the background of Haitian Creole, including the origin and history, regional varieties, the writing system, and interesting facts we found while researching for this project. We will also discuss the general features of the language systems, compare Haitian Creole to English, and difficulties that speakers of Haitian Creole may encounter when learning to speak English. Finally, we will discuss some of the cultural norms that we have found, how their culture may impact students in your classroom, and provide some tips for how you might be able to support students that speak Haitian Creole.
So first we'll discuss the background of the Haitian Creole language and some aspects of Haitian culture.
Haitian Creole was developed in the late 17th and early 18th centuries. It was originally a pidgin language, which is a simplified form of communication that arises when people with no common language try to communicate, so that it means it had no native speakers. This language was developed primarily by those working on plantations as a result of African slaves' attempt to speak French that they heard when arriving in Haiti. It is suggested that the French vocabulary was mixed with the grammar from African languages. Eventually, the approximation of French became more and more different from the French that was typically spoken there, and it turned into its own language. When it became spoken as a native language, it then became a Creole language. It has been one of Haiti's official languages since the mid-1900s. It is the first language of about 95% of Haitians, especially in rural areas. French and Haitian Creole have been designed as Haiti's official languages. In the 1940s, the Haitian president, Stenio Vincent, attempted to standardize the Haitian Creole orthography and phonetic spelling. But it was resisted. Then in 1979, it was finally standardized and a law was passed that permitted Creole to be the language of instruction. It then became a national language in 1987.
Haitian Creole is a combination of various languages, which includes influences from African languages, such as Ewe and West Africa Gibe languages, French, English, and some Spanish. Vocabulary is influenced by French, and grammar seems to be more influenced by African languages. In its history, Haiti was colonized by the French, English, and Spanish, which account for these influences in the three languages on Haitian Creole. This has led to different regional dialects in Haiti, such as the Northern, which is spoken in Haiti's second largest city, Central, which is spoken in the capital, Port-au-Prince metropolitan area, and Southern, which is spoken in the area of the city of Cayes.
Haitian Creole is spoken by about 7 million people daily, and in various places including the Bahamas, Canada, Cayman Islands, Dominican Republic, France, Puerto Rico, and the United States. Within the U.S., you may see larger Haitian Creole populations in New York City, Boston, and parts of Florida.
As evident by the history of Haitian Creole, it originally did not start as a written language. When it did become a written language in the late 18th century, it was a major turning point for Haitian Creole. Despite this, there were no systematic order or rules for the writing, so it took several years and many systems were introduced, but finally in 1970, lawmakers made a standard orthography and it was introduced to the public in the 1980s. It is now a true language with an orthography instead of being a mere form of slang.
There are several interesting facts about Haitian Creole. For example, the greatest difference between French and Haitian Creole is in the grammar of both languages. However, people who speak French can often not understand Haitian Creole language. Additionally, French is still considered the language of prestige in Haiti, most commonly spoken by urban elite, which is about 8 to 10% of the Haitian population. Urban French-based schools are privileged over rural Creole-based schools. Interestingly enough, English has borrowed some words from Haitian Creole, most of which relate to religious traditions of Haiti. Mambo, the dance, the word comes from Creole, name for a voodoo priestess. Voodoo comes from the word for spirit, and zombie was originally the name of a snake god, later means reanimated corpse. Finally, radio is the most important means of communication in Haiti, and print media is not reached by many due to the many regional variations.
So with all that in mind, we can now further examine specific aspects of the Haitian Creole language, compare it to English, and learn about what sorts of challenges Haitian Creole individuals may experience when learning English.
Phonology involves the process of producing meaningful sounds. When examining Haitian Creole, there are some similarities and differences to English. For example, the alphabet is similar to English in that it is Latin-based, but it has some modifications. It has 32 sounds, whereas English has 44. Similar to English, it has 20 consonants and 12 vowels. However, it has 5 vowels that are nasalized. This differs from English, which has no phonetically nasalized vowels. However, in English, vowels preceding nasal consonants are nasalized, such as in man, can't, or then. But often these vowels that occur after nasalized consonants are not noticeable and could be omitted without changing how the word sounds. Additionally, all Haitian Creole letters have one sound. That said, there are no letters of C, Q, or X. They do not exist because they are not necessary. Instead, they use K for the C sound, KW for the Q sound, and KS for the X sound. Haitian Creole also does not have the TH phoneme, and they may omit the H sound, saying something like I have a house instead of I have a house.
The Haitian Creole morphology, or the way that language forms words and understanding the meaningful part of words, has some similarities and differences to English. Some scholars say that Haitian Creole actually lacks a definite morphology because it is such a new language, but some specific morphological aspects can be observed. For example, to make words plural, they add the suffix yo rather than s. Additionally, personal pronouns are similar to French pronouns in Haitian Creole, and they have a similar construct as English. Additionally, their verbs have tense markers, which indicate tense, which is similar to the way English uses words and suffixes to indicate tense, which you can note by the chart.
Syntax is the set of rules, principles, and processes that govern the structure of sentences in a given language. Specifically, word order and punctuation. In Haitian Creole, there are certain rules and principles that impact sentence structure. For example, similar to English, the language generally follows the expected subject-verb-object pattern. One difference to be noted is that interrogative sentences are made by placing a question word at the beginning of the subject, such as the word qui, which means they may use intonation to show that the sentence is a question. This differs to English, which usually utilizes auxiliary verbs to ask questions. Definite and indefinite articles are utilized in Haitian Creole. However, they differ in word order than compared to English. Finally, the verb system is different, as there is no subject-verb agreement structure within the sentence.
Given the history of Haitian Creole, sometimes the language itself would likely not be utilized in certain situations. Given that French has been considered the prestigious language in Haiti, in certain events it would be less expected for individuals to speak Haitian Creole. For example, in political settings, French would be more expected to be utilized rather than Haitian Creole. Additionally, it would also be expected for individuals who are literate to write in French rather than Haitian Creole, simply because it has a lower status. Finally, it would be less expected to see written Haitian Creole simply because the first written system was developed recently, and individuals are less likely to know how to read and write in Haiti if they speak Haitian Creole compared to French. Aside from these cultural and situational uses of Haitian Creole, very few other semantic or pragmatic linguistic features can be distinguished in the language. As it evolves, there will be likely more salient examples of these aspects of the Haitian Creole language system.
There are different varieties in the way Haitian Creole is spoken depending on where, geographically, the language is being spoken. For example, the main dialect divisions correspond roughly to the geographic location within the country. West includes the speech of Port-au-Prince, South, North, Northwest, and Center. The dialect of Port-au-Prince is the basis of the standard dialect. Most of the differences in dialects are found in the pronunciation, but there are some differences in vocabulary as well. The central dialect is the most similar to French of all the dialects.
There are some noteworthy differences and similarities that can be observed between English and Haitian Creole. For example, some of the words may sound similar, as shown in the table. Because the alphabet and sounds are similar, individuals learning English who speak Haitian Creole may have somewhat an easier time understanding verbal language of English. Similarly, the sentence structure will be somewhat similar, which will support individuals learning English and vice versa. Some differences between English and Haitian Creole are reflected in the pronunciation of sounds, word structure, aspects of morphology, and aspects of syntax. This can create difficulties for Haitian Creole speakers when learning English.
As previously discussed, some of the differences between Haitian Creole and English can lead to some difficulties for these individuals when they start to learn English. For example, pronoun and verb systems may be more challenging because they are so different. Additionally, pronunciation is different and may be difficult for students from Haiti. Since letters Q, K, and X do not exist in Haitian Creole, when learning English, these individuals may need direct instruction as they may have trouble making the sounds correctly. Additionally, these individuals may omit the H sound in words when first learning them, as it is not utilized in Haitian Creole. In Creole, the TH phoneme does not exist, so they may mispronounce some words. For example, they may say sink or tink instead of think. Finally, Haitian Creole is a syllable-timed language, whereas English is a stress-timed language. That means that students may struggle to stress appropriate syllables and may have a staccato accent.
Knowing the history of Haitian Creole and how the language is structured, we can now further examine specific aspects of Haitian Creole, such as cultural norms for individuals from Haiti and ways to support these students as they enter the classroom.
There are certain communication rules that Haitians have that can be observed in Haitian Creole speakers. While these communication rules vary by location, generally it is expected that greetings of bonjour in the morning and bonsoir in the evening should be given, and the standard greeting for both genders is to shake hands, similar to English speakers in America. Professionals in general prefer to be addressed by their title, and at times a customary greeting between individuals who are more familiar with each other is a kiss on one or both cheeks, which differs from a normal American custom.
Some nonverbal behavior that you may observe by this population is similar to English. For example, maintained eye contact is appropriate, but prolonged eye contact may be considered rude. Additionally, this population may tend to use hand gestures to expand on what they are saying. Because of this, discussions may take place at arm's length to avoid hitting the other person when making a point. Someone may even take the other person's shoulder or drill a finger into the person's shoulder or chest to make a point. Despite these observations, it should be noted that these are generalizations that may not apply to everyone, as there are also regional variations on nonverbal behavior.
Religion is an important aspect of Haitian culture. The majority of Haitians practice voodoo or some aspects of voodoo in addition to Catholicism or Protestantism. In both rural and urban areas, men monopolize the job market. Only men work as jewelers, construction workers, general laborers, mechanics, and chauffeurs. Most doctors, teachers, and politicians are men, although women have made inroads into the elite professions like medicine. Most pastors are male, as are most school directors. Men also prevail, although not entirely, in the professions of spiritual healer and herbal practitioner. These gender constructs may change the way students interact with professionals of different genders, such as with female teachers, as it may be less expected or common. It is important to consider these underlying norms when working with these individuals.
When teaching Haitian Creole students, there may be some aspects of their culture that may have impacts on their classroom experience. Haitian concept of time is event-based and not based on punctuality, so they may be tardy or late to classroom events. In Haiti, education is viewed as a means to gain prosperity, but not everyone has the opportunity to attend schools. Because of that, about 50% of the children in Haiti do not attend school. This means that the school experience may be new to these students, which may lead to certain learning curves in what is expected of them within the school. Additionally, The average literacy rate for males is between 61 and 64%, and 57% for females, compared to the literacy rates for Latin American and Caribbean developing countries, which is 92. That means that several of these individuals may not have the skills of reading and writing even in their native language, which could add its own set of challenges.
Here are some general tips when working with students or their parents from Haiti. It is expected that you should greet parents by shaking hands when meeting them. This will create a more welcoming environment for the family. The pronunciation of certain letter sounds differs from Haitian Creole to English, which may prove challenging for some students. This is something that will need to be considered when they begin to learn English, and certain games and learning strategies will need to be utilized to help these students. As stated previously, students may be illiterate, which means that they may need to learn to read and write in English, which is not their native language. This could add an additional aspect that teachers need to consider. Finally, some of the vocabulary words may overlap in how they sound, which can help when communicating with the students, and can help them transition for them to learn English.
Teachers and those working with students from Haiti should engage in teaching practices that are beneficial for English learners in general, but they must also keep in mind specific areas where Haitian Creole speakers may have particular trouble. About 2% of English language learners, or ELLs, in the United States speak French or Haitian Creole. Some games that might help support the development for these students to learn phoneme or letter sounds and grapheme or spelling sounds will help these students learn English. Additionally, games can help students who struggle with learning to use the tip of the tongue to make the sound TH. Games that help students learn how to work on sound spelling can help students learn how to correct this. Additionally, students may use intonation to ask questions rather than auxiliary verbs, so games to help them learn word order in interrogative sentences can help them learn this skill.
In conclusion, Haitian Creole is a fascinating language with several interesting features. The origin, history, and regional variations of the language gives insight into how individuals speak Haitian Creole. It also gives a cultural context to the way the language has developed.
Understanding the linguistic features of Haitian Creole can help us better understand the Haitian Creole language and how it compares to English. Finally, understanding cultural norms and utilizing these tips can guide how we interact with students and their families as they enter our classroom.
Here are the references we used to guide us when creating this presentation, if you would like to explore the topic further.